He says, you've made me see troubles. Many. Better. Something we need to know about troubles. James told us that whenever we face trials, notice he didn't say if we face trials, did he? He said whenever we face trials. Troubles are not an elective that you sign up for. You know, in school we have electives, classes we like and we enjoy. Troubles aren't that way. They sneak in when we least expect it. They make us stay awake at night. They make us struggle with a hunger or an appetite. Troubles are multicolored. They could be anything. It could be a lingering illness. It could be a variety of things. They may involve pain and untimely death. Some know the heartache of a broken marriage or a short-circuited romance. Troubles may come from a rebellious child or a troubled loved one. Some struggles with problems in business and with health. Others combat lingering times of depression or habits that seem unbreakable. Our trials are many-colored and they run really deep. We may even feel abandoned by God when we're walking through these things. James said in what we read earlier that trials are the evidence that God is at work. That God is at work. Paul agreed for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. It says that in 2 Corinthians 4:17. Our troubles are achieving us, are leading us, are walking with us to a glory that God Himself has promised us. And they outweigh everything we deal with here on this earth. What we need to know about our troubles. Our goal as growing Christians is a spiritual maturity. A spiritual maturity. Now, everyone here, with the exception of the little guys in the back, we're pretty mature folks, aren't we? I think everyone in here, with the exception of Jacob, is over the age of 18. He's got a month to go yet. We're mature adults. We have the right to vote. We have the right to drive a car. We have the right to do anything in this U.S. of A. we choose. But how's that spirit man? How long have you known Christ? How old are you in here? Sometimes when we come to accept Christ soon, we have all this excitement. I love that. I live for that. When someone accepts Christ and they get all fired up and they're doing the do and they're just loving life, that's awesome. But when that first trial comes, you watch him crash. And that's terrible, guys. That's hard. To watch a person who 1 week was on top of the world and the next week feels God's abandoned them. What do we do to help? We love them, don't we? We lift them up. We help them out. And through that walk, they start to begin to understand. In life, there's high times. And in life, there's low times. And the only thing that matters is during these times of fluctuation, our trust and our faith in God never, ever changes. He's our source of hope. He's our source of strength. And then we start seeing our character, our spirit man grow as we walk through this. Spiritually, I never grew more than when I was walking through a problem. When you're looking at a bill or you're looking at a circumstance and there is no way that can be fixed. And somehow something happens and it's gone. That is the power of God. That is the power that He gives us. That never-ending grace and mercy that God bestows on us. Jump too far. Warren Wiersbe says in his book, Be Mature. Our values determine our evaluations. If we value comfort more than character, then trials will upset us. If we value the material things and the physical things more than the spiritual things, we will not be able to count it all joy. If we live only for the present and forget about the future, then trials will make us bitter instead of better. What are you thinking about today? God's given us right here and right now. What are you thinking about? Where's your mind? Are you consumed with all the problems that you really have no control over? Or are you thinking about my faith and my hope in Christ Jesus? What are you thinking about? Some steps for all of us to realize. James tells us to live joyously. In verse 2. Our hurts and difficult circumstances are part of God's plan. Ouch. I don't like that. Do you like that? I do not like to hear that. But they are part of God's plan to help us grow. We must grow spiritually. We should thank Him. We should thank God for what He's doing in our lives. Even when life is difficult. Even if we're suffering. But listen, guys. Misery is an option. Going around telling everybody, oh me, oh my, hop on my hay wagon. Come on, now you say it, oh me, oh my. And forming this whole undertow of negativity is a choice each one of us make. And it's not a good choice. Misery is an option. Life. James uses wisdom in the Old Testament sense. Wisdom is truth acted upon. Wisdom is truth acted upon. Knowledge applied. The ability to live life successfully in the midst of a difficult circumstance. It acknowledges God is willing to understand and help us through His will. Live submissively. James talks about a double-minded person. Tell the truth to you, but lies to him. A double-minded person. It's not a good thing. One soul is saying, I believe, another soul shouts, I don't. It's not a good thing. For someone to mature, they must be truthful. The Bible tells us this type of person is unstable, indecisive, which makes them ineffective in every aspect of life. This person must be willing to submit to God and yield totally all allegiance to God the Father. And must be willing to receive whatever God gives them. That may mean staying in a relationship and submitting to a difficult spouse. It may mean permanent singleness. It may mean continuing in a difficult job situation, or even remaining unhealed. Whatever God's will is, we must submit to it. We must submit to it. So what's our plan? What do we do? What do we do with today? The day we're given. Can we all make a commitment to be obedient? And understand, we do not know what God has totally in store for us or wants us to do. But if we can be willing to make a commitment, all of us will find the grace we need to handle the demands of this life. God's wisdom is available for all who trust in Him. Regardless of what you might be looking at today. But we must commit to Him. We must surrender our lives. We must surrender our mind. We must surrender our soul. We must surrender our tongue. Say, God, let your words only come across these lips. Guys, that's hard. I miss it. It's hard. But if we're going to be sold out to Jesus today, we must submit to doing that. Today's that day, guys, gals. Today's your day. God is here. Jesus is here. He's asking for all who are weary to call on Him. Are you willing? Are you able to submit everything that is going on to what He would have and not what we want? All we are, guys, is little vessels. Edwin calls us timekeepers because God's put us here in a specific time to do a specific work. God's put us here. We don't have anything to say about it if we trust in Him. What kind of time are you keeping today in your families, in your homes? Today, don't leave if you're struggling with something. This altar is open. If you have a need, grab a hand. Talk to somebody. Pray to somebody. Ask them to be your witness that I am confessing this to God, and together we can make it through. The church is here to encourage you, to support you, to help you in whatever way we can. The rest is up to you. Amen?